condition, and they're doing what we do as Guamanians, as Chamorros. We raise awareness, we help our neighbors, we take care of our village, in the hopes. And Alyssa, if I may speak for you in that, you're doing this so that others who may have little ones, who have this condition, may know what to expect and may know how to treat it. And it's the sense of who we are. It's inafamalig. We're taking care of each other and we're sharing the information. So first of all, good to see both of you and everything, and thanks for coming on today.
Yes, thank you so much for having us. So yes, we are spreading awareness that way in case somebody else on Guam happens to encounter our difficulties. They would expect how to take care of it, or we also make people know that our contact number is out there so if people have questions. But we are also spreading awareness because there's this common misconception that EB is contagious. And a lot of the times, from my understanding with other EB children, parents have shared that children don't want to play with their kid, thinking they have chicken pox or that they're ill instead of that they have owls. So our goal is to spread awareness so that way your children and the next generations can be kinder to my child when he goes to school.
Now, Matt, I know like EB, obviously the medical community, and there are many physicians, nurses, people that work in that industry watch the show and everything, but I can't even pronounce like this first word. Is it epidermolysis bullosa?
Epidermolysis bullosa.
Epidermolysis. Okay, very good. Yeah, I'm nowhere near the journalist your wife is and everything like that. She was really good at this kind of thing, but epidermolysis bullosa. So for people that may not remember your story, I know it's a skin condition. It's very, very visible. The skin breaks and there's discoloration and everything, but can you explain it?
So EB is, or epidermolysis bullosa is also known as EB, or commonly referred to as the butterfly disease. And the reason why they say the butterfly disease is because their skin is as fragile as butterfly wings. Have you ever tried to catch a butterfly or seen a butterfly on the floor growing? Get curious. When you touch it, it's very fragile and it breaks apart. So with Kingsley's skin, the slightest friction and trauma, his skin breaks and blisters like third-degree burns. So we actually have to pop the blisters and drain them in order for him to continue healing. EB is literally nicknamed one of the worst diseases you've never heard of. So a lot of the time people mistaken Kingsley's condition to be eczema. And I know that other children on Guam have experienced their skin to be raw, painful like EB. However, the difference is Kingsley's skin, there is no treatment, there is no cure, only pain management and bandages, wound care.
Guys, have doctors told you like how rare is this condition? Like how many kids get this per year, and maybe even more relative to Guam? How many young people have this on Guam?
From my understanding, Kingsley is Guam's only butterfly child, and I've done a lot of research because I'm a little obsessive, right? It's less than 0.004% chance of your child having epidermolysis bullosa. So I feel like even with that little chance, though, I feel that God has specifically given Kingsley to us because we were even capable of diagnosing him before the doctors were. With extensive research, with my communication degree and making sure that we get awareness out, I feel that God has given him to us. So with the doctors were saying that he has like a 1 in a million chance of him outgrowing the condition. But we still ask for prayers regardless of that number. And we continuously see him grow and mature, and he does have some progress. So I know that a lot of people have been tuning in and a lot of people have been asking us questions about him. So I wanted to share a little bit of his progress because before, immediately when he would fall, his skin would open. His skin would just come off and open. Yeah, it'll detach. And other times, if it's a small fall, then a blister would form and we would see bubble. We call them bubbles for Kingsley. It's like a 50% chance, depending on where he falls and when he falls and how hard he falls, is so it won't always break, and his skin won't always open. So I feel like that's a positive. His blisters are no longer up to 40 little blisters every day.
And this
Sometimes
is
now we have
Guam too. I mean, if you fall in the grass, we haven't exactly got, what they call like the soft mainland grass. You may fall in like Japanese grass, or you may fall on the sidewalk, or something like that. I mean, these are abrasive surfaces.
So I feel with tile though, we've been very lucky where he'll fall on tile and he won't rip. But I feel like for sure with grass and with cement, he will definitely rip. But he knows that when we have to do wound care is that we're doing it out of love, and that he knows we're doing it to try to make him better. So he's gonna be 4 on Halloween, which is amazing.
A couple days.
Yeah, I mean, from my understanding,
he loves candy though, for sure, right?
I'm sorry?
He loves candy though.
Oh, of course, he loves candy. He loves pasta. He loves mosa, capricciosa pasta. He's a pasta boy.
Okay, is he a red rice boy? Does he take after mom? Because I remember you've got a taste, Alyssa, for red rice.
To him, red rice is orange rice, the literal color.
He'll correct you. It's orange rice, not red rice.
Yeah, and he obviously he's very, very astute too. So, and guys, the one thing I'm taking away, and we've got some of the pictures up here. But the one thing that I really take away, and in talking to the both of you over the years, is that this condition, does not define him. He's a little boy who has a condition and everything, but he's still a happy little boy first. And you can see abundantly in these pictures that he's got the most wonderful, genuine smile, and he's just like a little wonderful Guam kid and everything like that. So, Matt, maybe talk about like his personality and his temperament. How is he to his cousins, to the people that know him, to his friends.
With him, he's very straightforward and direct with his ways. All in all, he's still a happy child. It doesn't bother him as his attitude and whatnot. Maybe when he had when he falls and whatnot, when he's hurt, it does affect him in that way. But we take care of it with some ointments and bandages and whatnot. Other than that, he's back up and running. He's a strong kid. He's happy. He's a smart kid. He's really great.
Count up to 30.
Yeah, he knows his ABCs, his numbers. He could count everything.
He's learning to spell. Yeah. He's gonna be 4.
Very nice. Well, you got first grade coming up, and like what, probably like less than 24 months, and then you got high school after that, and then he's gonna be asking, oh, mom and dad, I need my own iPad. Can I borrow the car? I got a girl on the phone. Can you leave me alone?
He actually asked us for a Nintendo Switch for his birthday. So his Nina was kind enough to send us the OLED from the States.
Wow.
So
he's excited about that.
Is he the youngest? Is he the Carrito in like your extended family? Because of course, Alyssa, we're very familiar with your family, and your the Eclavea family. If you didn't know, from Sinahanya, Mantra is probably where her uncles and father are best known. A tremendous musical family. I've got so much respect and love for your family. But is he the youngest grandchild?
No,
he's not the youngest.
Oh, okay.
On the Eclavea side, yes, sir.
Yeah, my parents.
For her parents,
he's the only one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Before, I believe it's Malachi. He is only 2 years old. Yeah. So
2 younger ones. Yeah.
There's 2 younger ones after King.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how would you say, how self-aware is he of, the fact that, he's got to be like just a little bit careful when he does things, and like when he was younger, the last time we caught up with you, would he have to wear like the little kid, like the gloves and the booties, or like on her feet? Or?
His bandages. Well, now he's very cautious even when other kids are playing around him, because even if they were to step on his foot lightly, they would actually raise him or take his skin off. So he's very cautious. He'll put his hand out, or he'll tell them move back, or like keep their distance. So he'll actually stop them from running into him, or he just puts up his hand so nobody just drops him down.
Yeah, we've been very proactive with teaching him that his body is his responsibility, because if he were to go to school, which we would love for him to go to school, is he needs to have his own back. Not that teachers aren't going to have his back, but at the end of the day, mom and dad aren't going to be there. So when we see him playing and kids are running, and usually, again, as Matt said, when you step on his foot, immediately there's a wound. Immediately he'll blister. So he'll notice his surroundings. He'll freak out a bit, and then he'll go and sit down, so that way he's not in the mess of everything. Or he'll simply say to you, hey, skin isn't as strong as yours. Can you please be gentle? Can you be gentle, please? Or if people are running, he'll say, hey, you're gonna step on my feet. So he's very vocal, like his mom. So
we teach him boundaries in like a personal space, basically, so that way they aren't getting too close to him if they're playing a little rough or if they're just unaware of it. So he really understands his boundaries of where they need to be.
And then with chips, before when he would eat chips, he would always cry because he also blisters in his tummy. Sometimes he'll have blisters on his tongue or on his gums. So when he was a baby, we'd see up to three big blisters on his tongue, even just from breastfeeding. But we do see blisters on his tongue, but not as often. I feel like he's learned how to eat chips without hurting, and he's also very capable of communicating to us.
I did not realize that, Alyssa. So I mean, hence the name of the condition, everything, anything with the dermis, right? So that includes internally as well.
Organs as well. So we actually have to go off island to a specialist for a surgery does need for preventative measures, so that way we could reduce trauma and just avoid different types of infection at the same time. We are estimated to save about 15 grand just to get Kingsley out to the specialist, because in order to intubate him, you have to be very careful and you have to know what you're doing, because if you're not careful and you trach him or intubate him, you're going to rip him on the way down.
Yeah.
There's also certain procedures that they have at those or ED specialists where they don't tape down wires. They actually have different assistants like holding them up, so that way it reduces friction. So I don't know if you've noticed, but in order to save up for that big trip, and with being an ED mom, being a caregiver and a parent, a teacher, administrator, whatever it may be, I actually started my own very little business called Stitchcraft Guam. So at night, I actually, when Kingsley goes to bed, which is like at 12, because he's a little excited all the time, like his mom, I work from like 12 to 4 in the morning sewing products. So I wanted to say that I very
none of this surprises me, by the way. I mean, we all can qualify your talent. We all knew the both of you were fantastic people. So like the fact that you started a company, I was like, okay, that's Alyssa. She's like that. She's cool.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you so much, because considering all the battles that we have fought, and especially Kingsley fighting EB and spreading awareness, because sometimes people look at us like we don't take care of our son. Some people look at us like we abused him. Like the first time I remember we were at a Ganya shopping center, and we were getting seen because of him and I were sick. And immediately a doctor sort of started judging us and looked at us and said, is your daughter being seen for whatever's happening for that condition? And I said, first off, he's a he.
Yeah.
And we're not here for him. And yes, he is being taken care of. And I ended up making these epidermalis bullosa awareness cards. People, you're on Guam. People want to protect children. People are going to judge you because, again, the fabric of our community is petgun. It's inafamalic. It's familiar. It's looking out for each other. So instead of getting very upset, this doctor, I decided to be proactive, and we made ED awareness cards. And so I'm really excited that they help out, because people have never heard of it. And people are always I feel like on Guam, people are more welcoming and wanting to understand, so that way they could somehow alleviate any stress, even by saying, hey, we're going to pray for you.
Well, we want to help too, and we want to do, because like Matt, because you're at Tapaznia, I'm sure we're related at some point. My grandmother was a Camacho, and I know I'm related to the Tapaznia family from my grandmother's side and everything like that. So we're all in. What can we do to help out, and to make sure that Kingsley has the best childhood possible?
Well, if you guys can just talk to your children about his condition, then that would be great.
The more others know, the more he's accepted or cared for with the community. So that way, if their children are informed, they would know how to, I guess, properly play with him, or even just know his condition, whether it be physical or emotional. So that would really help out. It's just basically our awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, you guys, like I said at the beginning of this interview, you know, you're both family. I mean, we're here 150% for you guys and everything like that. All you guys have to do is just drop us a line. And you know, we can't wait till we can do an interview with Kingsley. You know, when he's ready and when he's at that age, and maybe when he's done with the Nintendo Switch. You know, because I mean, I can see how that's going to be. You know, that's going to occupy his time for at least a year and everything like that. You know, when he's ready, we'd love to have him on the show and, you know, talk to him and find out how great it is to be a kid on Guam.
Thank you so much, Jason.
you.
We really appreciate all the really good questions and making sure that you're helping us spread awareness. We love KUAM, Team KUAM away. So.
And like you said, everybody watching right now, like as Alyssa said in the beginning, if you are the religious type and everything, send some prayers upstairs, you know, for their family and everything like that. They are going through and have gone through a lot to this point, and prayers are certainly always a way that they can help. And so best to the both of you and everything like that. We're sending our support and our love and everything, and you let us know whenever you need something. We're there, lickety split.
Thank you so much, Jason.
All right, thanks for coming on. We'll be in touch.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll be right back with more Link right after this.
Catch sports.
Join KUAM every Wednesday on Primetime for Inside Business. It's our new weekly segment featuring the struggle of Guam's businesses during this global pandemic. We'll hear from industry leaders about the difficult decisions they were forced to make to implement cutoffs, layoffs, and shorten hours just to survive. It's the other side effect